I don't understand why people keep asking me why I'm using dual Ichors. Aren't they nerfed? Are they still good? I don't know who keeps saying that those are bad, but those questions has to come from somewhere. So let me show you how bad are dual Ichors. I was thinking what frame or build to use with dual Ichors not to overshow its power, because of course if I pair it with Kullervo and the best possible build for it, of course they're gonna slap. But I decided to make some kind of regular build that can work for everyone, and I'm just gonna use it on my Vault. And I decided to include my Riven because I want the range, but without the Riven you will do just fine, because outside of the range it only has melee damage, so you can just put primed pressure point instead. It's not Nami solo, so it has follow through penalty, so it's not that good. I just got so used to it on Vault that I have a crazy range on the melee. It has quite insane crit multiplier per baseline, so I decided to just do critical chance from mods without Wrathful Advance, and I decided to do the best synergy with dual Ichor, which is the Zata's Whisper. Of course, some might say Roar's better or anything else, but well, I wanna show you that you can play literally wherever the fuck you want with those weapons. They are just very good. But I thought to myself that I will also show you a version for Ember, which is a bit weaker because my Ember doesn't have Archon Shards. She's just here to flex how godly she looks with the Heirloom skin. And I'm gonna show you the most standard, basic, regular build for dual Ichors, which is by far the best one out of all of them. But let's start with Incarnon evolutions. I always go with the Toxin one on the first evolution, or the second, call it how you want it. Instead of this one, I just always go with this one because it's way more flexible for me and I found a great way to abuse it. Then we go with the range, and then we go with the base status chance. There is not much competition here, so that's a lock and load. But for anyone who wants to play the best possible build and wanna have use of this, I highly recommend you to use the Predacite, the Pharaoh Predacite, because that Toxin standalone is just the innate on dual Ichors, and you will change it into viral and you will have electrical on. So this guy will provide you with this beautiful augment he got, anabolic pollination, which does not fuse anymore, so you will have that Toxin to get the combo counter. And here we have the first build, which cries out for Shock Trooper or any source of electricity, because the best build anyway doesn't really require you to have Shock Trooper. But for now, we're gonna stick with Vault, and this is the Riven, and also this is the reason why I use the Toxin. It's quite weak, because I don't have any extra critical damage other than the Archon Shards, of course. There is not much critical other than Blood Rush, and we just overall sacrifice a lot to put it all together, because I don't have an Elemental on the Riven. An Elemental on the Riven in that case is really useful. But honestly, I always call it a Saren's melee weapon because it works best with her. It goes quite fucking wild on her, but everyone knows that, like anything you're gonna touch with them gonna just flop. So let's stick to other frames and let's try out first this build, which focuses mainly on the range. Just a quick comparison on Acolytes. Blast loadout with Zatas, Viral loadout with Wrathful Advance. And honestly, I just did a quick test on both loadouts, the main one and the one with Blast, and to be fair, I think 1.1k kills in 5 minutes is doable on every loadout for the dual Ichor. The clouds on the ground doing very nice job with cleaning up stuff that comes up to you. But let's go to the full showcase on the first build. So let's start with the Blast and Zata's loadout and just quickly show you how it looks like. Just look at the combo counter, instantly we can go Incarnon, instantly on 12x back. And everything is just flopping, like I would be using Nami or any other melee weapon built for melee influence. It's just broken, like every loadout. Like every weapon with this loadout, sorry. That's what I want to say. So I don't think if there is that much to show. It's just typical stuff whenever you play on Vault. It's very comfy that you can provide the Elec so you can play Blast. But for level cap I think it's still better to just get the Viral and heavy Elec for him. Yeah, I can just do it for 5 minutes or just instead show you the next loadout with something that can provide that much of a kick to the weapon, so let's just instantly go over the next thing. For this one the defense only is on the Riven, which is called, because I will be using Blast Steel, just without that range, but I will get Steel Toxin. It looks nearly the same, the defense is only on the Riven, but the main point of it is that I want as much Blast as possible, and the Electric will be provided by the augment from Vault. Why do I use it on my Ember? Because I simply helminted it for this video to show you that you don't even need the best possible helmint or the best possible loadout, especially on this weapon, but it applies to most decent weapons that are played with melee influence. No Archon Shards, no nothing, this is just my Ember that is here to look good, and that's all. That build is kinda made around like just having as many damaging statuses as we can, and it does pretty much similar job with the enemies. We just need the elect proc, and same stuff's gonna be happening to them. It's just they just flop in without having that much toxin, so it was slower on the stack. Oh my god, she's so fucking vulnerable before I can get my immolate percent. Let me spam some fireballs. But yeah, it's not vault, so the movement speed is slower, but it's far enough. Everything just flopping. Boom. There's no enemies left. What the fuck? That's fucking steel pot. Hello? Same stuff, to be fair. But the still variation with... I mean, it's so nice. Look at that. They just instantly in-depth flames from the ground effect of toxin, which is stupid, but... Volt is just faster, of course, but if someone wants to look fancy doing all of this with Ember, we're all in for it. Gotta reset the immolation. The only problem is, like, Ember should have been using just the viral loadout and Eclipse for damage reduction straight up. She's quite tanky then. But Eclipse makes you like not look good. But yeah, I could be doing that for another 5 minutes. But let's just go to the main thing and then we can do it for 5 minutes. But still, look, we can use all of the statuses, even the stat weight's getting fucked. But it's just fun to see all of this. But yeah, let's go on to the strongest one by far. But at first I wanted to show this build because it's just the best, but I want to make it very universal, best meta possible build for playing with melee influence, so I will just show you a loadout without her even. The most flexible universal build for melee influence for all melees would look like this, with the only difference is like if you have two elementals on Riven, you can exchange the voltaic strike, or like whatever you need of the elementals to get the viral plus electricity, and just swap to like blood rush to get more crit, or if the weapon is too low crit, just stay like this. But that's all you really need. I will use Revenant only for the fact of immortality, and I won't even use Arcane Avenger not to mess with the combat discipline, but if you can, you should use Arcane Avenger, it's gonna be a bit better. But let's just go with my Revenant, just for the Mesmer skin. There's not gonna be any external buff for Ichor. Remember that it's only for dual tox that we're using the Predacite for the toxin, to have the benefit of the Incarnate perk, even if we have Viral Elec. And remember, best thing for influence is either Wrathful Advance if we have high crit damage, or just Roar, because Roar triple dips the influence, making it just beyond broken, like it's not already is. But yeah, just look. One press of a button, no buffs. I don't know why people keep asking me why I use Ichor still. Who says it's nerfed or anything? This is literally no buffs, just one press of melee. Crazy that people think it's nerfed. Just imagine if I had any like buff like Roar that triple dips, triple the damage off of influence here. And that extra spread on AoE from Predacite meanwhile is also just not helping the enemies to survive any tiny bit. And the multi-hit stance as well. If anything, survived the multi-hit, so I can like actually spread the influence procs around, but this guy survived. Oh, nice. Eximus. You can play without Predacite and just elect Viral. I think it might be a bit better. But I just really love the Toxin on this one. But for other ones, it's 100% better without. Or just not put the augment if you want the Predacite. I don't know, but stat values matter. Just imagine when you play Saren with Toxin damage status and you use this. Plus you have Predacite. Viral Elec Pedicite gives you the toxin standalone. Saren gives another toxin that's forced proc, so we can like proc 2 different sources of toxin at the same time. And that augment probably scales. I don't remember exactly, but it probably does scale the Toxic Clash. Because it's plus 100 toxin. And Primed Fever Strike also. Another scaling to Toxic Clash. It's just insanity how much damage. I don't know even if I would be able to show you on Saren in level cap if I had team to keep me alive easily on her. I don't think it would be possible. Like, I know that she just melts everything that's being touched with Ichor. It's like no other way. Oh, nice. No, influence proc. That's the problem without Vault. Vault just overloads like to the top of the priority, and that's the best outcome. To always have influence ASAP. The buff drops, one touch, you should have influence back. So, if you see like how it deals, you can literally just use Shock Trooper, Augment, instead Roar, just to have like the flexibility on modding. 200k hits without any like crit damage focus or anything. And every weapon will do it. Like, hey, influence is just broken. Dual Ichor is just a bit better because it's in Carnon and has high status. But doesn't matter, no, influence is just broken. You don't even need full follow through. Like, the best thing you can have is literally like 3 move stands for influence and just high status, aka Orthos for an example. You can do the same as you do with Ichor if you have Lesion. Lesion, I don't know how you call that polearm. But it adds toxin damage whenever you proc a status, and that's like, you know, all the fucking time with weapon with that high status. But if Saren is like Zatas, this effect on the ground becomes a bit stupid, especially if you use gas loadout, then you don't even need influence. But why would you not play influence? It's just broken. Like, any melee can use this. It's insane. Let's see, not pumped Ichor versus Malice, where is he? Oh, why do I even bother? We can just heavy him. And instantly get combo points back, look. 12 packs in an instant. Oh, wait, let's spend it. It's already charging from the effect on the ground. So yeah, if anyone wonders about Dual Ichor, I will have this video to show. This is literally making it weaker on purpose, because everyone uses some kind of a buff. Like, even if you just Invis, you can use Crepuscular, like... You can use Avenger, you can use... Like, Roar on its own triples the damage, so... I will just leave you at that, and that will be all from me for this video. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that like, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, see you on the next one.